Good morning, guys. Hope you're having an amazing day. It is Ping here. Today I'm in Singapore. If you watch my videos, you'll know that recently I've been doing a lot of Singaporean food videos, but I've been doing a lot of big, complete meals. But a lot of Singaporean food surrounds small little bites to eat. So today we're going to find some little snacks. Some of them are sweet, some of them are going to be savory, but all of them are going to be delicious. We've already come here to Little India, which is one of the most food-centric places in the whole country, and the hawker center here, Tekka Place, has some amazing snacks that we are going to try. Let's go head in. First thing we're trying today in our snack tour is a classic dish here in Singapore. It's called ROTI PRATA, which is essentially these like really thin, crisp layers of dough, and you dip it into a curry sauce. It has Indian origins, but we've come to a very famous stall here. It's called Paratha Saga Sambal Berlarau, and it's arguably one of the best stalls to have roti prata at. The line was long and they make it fresh to order. I love the process of seeing them make it. The guy is very skillful in making it, and then the cooking process, which is on this huge, big, hot plate, and they put so much oil. I love it. I've gotten a couple pratas. The first one I've got is just a plain one. Another one I've gotten is onion, and another one is egg. So after we try them all out, I'm gonna tell you which one's the best. First are the plain ones, which are circular shaped, unlike the others which are square shaped. But I mean, it just looks so crispy, just breaking it apart in my hands. It's almost like breaking a biscuit. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to dip it into the curry sauce and just try it out. First thing about the prata itself, super flaky. It is so flaky that it just disintegrates when it enters your mouth. Wow, that is so flaky. Literally just on my plate right now, it's breaking up into little pieces because of how flaky it is. Just imagine biting into that flakiness. The top layer is flaky, the inside though is a little bit doughy, so it's a little bit stretchy, a little bit more bite. Then on the bottom it's once again flaky. But let's talk about that curry sauce, because wow, I was not expecting that. I'm assuming it's a mutton curry because it has a very strong like gamey flavor to the curry, which I absolutely love. But wow, I mean, I've had a lot of roti pratas in Singapore, but I can really attest to the fact that this is probably one of the best places for roti prata. This blew away my mind. Because the roti prata is so thin, it becomes super crispy. It's not like a thick layer. So because it's so crispy, it then becomes flaky. And that's why you have all that mixing of textures. Oh, you have to come and get this. This is amazing. Next one we're gonna try is the onion prata. Now, unlike the plain ones, these are square shaped. And what I love about it is that it has ingredients inside. So this one has onion inside. Let's dip it in that curry sauce. Let's try it out. Even though this is a little bit thicker because the dough needs to be able to contain the onions, I would say it's as crispy as the plain ones. The crispiness level still there, still holding. But what I love about onion pratas is that the onion adds another layer of texture. It adds another bite. It adds another bit of onion flavor, and I love that about the onion pratas. Yeah, definitely if I were gonna go for the plain or the onion, I would go for the onions because wow, I love that onion flavor. I love that extra bit of bite, extra bit of crisp that it introduces. Now we're gonna go for the egg. So literally what he does is he rolls it out and he just cracks an egg on top, just like that. Smears it all over there and then puts it on to the hot plate. So here we have a bit of egg. We're gonna put it in the curry sauce. Let's try it out. because the egg is cooked under such hot heat, it becomes like a spongy scrambled egg. If that's the best way I can put it. So inside these crispy 2 layers of skin, you have this scrambled egg sort of texture inside. I would say that the dough on the egg is not as crispy, and I think part of that has to do with the egg inside making the skin not as crispy. I'm not sure why, but I would say in terms of crispiness, onion 1 wins, plain is 2nd, egg is the 3rd. So if I were you, definitely get the onion, definitely come and get the plain. The egg is sort of a hit or miss, but definitely come and give that a try as well. But man, the curry sauce, that mutton flavor, amazing. Have to come here and try this out. It would not be hard to sit down there and eat pratas all day, but we've got places to be, we've got other things to try. So we're gonna leave this hawker center and we're gonna go to another place. Let's go. There's a lot of construction going on behind me, but we're gonna try our best to the construction's not gonna stop, so we're just gonna try our best to review this place. This place is Chor Beancurd House. It's supposed to be one of the best places for beancurd. Now, first thing I've gotten here is their soya milk, which is derived from beans. Now, this is a very traditional sort of snack that you can have, a snack and a drink. So on here, I have the bean curd itself. So it's like a little bit more solid, silky tofu. This is supposed to be the drink. Let's start off with the drink. It's really, really good because most of the time when you get it, it's like over sweetened or it's not as sweet. But this is the perfect amount of sweetness, and the bean flavor, it's very, very pronounced, very strong. You can tell that this used real beans, real soya beans to make the milk, whereas in most cases that isn't always the case. You can really tell the real ingredients they put in this. But we're gonna go for the bean curd now, which is that sort of solid, silky tofu. Let's go ahead and try it out. Just like the soya milk, it's very much focused on the flavor of the bean, not really the sweetness. So it's actually not that sweet. I would say it's more bland and tofu-like than it is supposed to be like a sweet pudding. But the bean flavor is really, really good. It's really, really strong, and that's what I love about it. It's highlighting the flavor, the ingredients of the beans, rather than trying to cover it up with sugar. So if you're looking for a little bit of a healthier alternative, you know, because a lot of the places in Singapore who serve that dish are going to serve it really, really sweet. So this is a nice, cool snack. You can get it hot or cold depending on your preference. I've got both of them cold because it's a hot day here in Singapore. Really, really good bean flavor. There's a reason why this is one of the most famous places here in Singapore. If this market seems familiar to you, it's because it's Chungbaru Market. We've come here multiple times for many, many different videos on the channel. But today, we've gone for a very famous stall called Chungbaru Fish Balls. Now, fish balls are essentially balls filled with fish meat, and they're fried. And Chungbaru fried fish balls is probably one of the most famous and the best place you can get fish balls in Singapore. As you can see, they're super, super shiny from being fried. You've got this crispy outer layer of skin, and it looks golden. It just looks delicious. Let's go ahead and try one out. What really sets this place apart is the texture and the flavor. The texture, the outer skin is actually a bit chewy, but the inside, that bouncy springiness of the fish ball is really, really springy and bouncy. And what's really unique about the flavor is that it's a lot saltier than other fish balls I've had in the past, or even anywhere else on the island. These are particularly salty, even a little bit too salty for my liking, but they are definitely packed with that fish flavor, that salty flavor. Really, really nice, clean fish flavor though. You're not getting like a rotten sort of fish taste to it. But yeah, really, really bouncy. I think that's the key takeaway from this. It's really super, I mean, jiggly on the inside. It's supposed to be bouncy. It's supposed to be fun to eat. All right, let's get our next snack. Next stall we've gone to is a stall known as Chungbaru Pan. Now they're famous for their paos, but they ran out of the big meaty one, so I had to settle for the char siu, which is the barbecue pork, and the enrong, which is like a lotus paste. But let's start off with the char siu. It's really, really small. The cost of the char siu was $1, if I'm correct. And I mean, just looking at it, you can tell it's got that fluffy bun texture on the outside. We're gonna break this open. Okay, first impression, when you break it open, you see the meat isn't really like an artificial red color you would see in other char siu baos. This one is really, really like brown, like a dark, sweet brown sort of sauce. I don't think it's like chemical induced or anything. This is really, really the real thing right here. This is the real char siu. The smell, it's so smoky, so barbecuey. Oh, I can't wait. We've got to go in for this. So many textures, so many flavors. Let's just begin with the bao, the white bao, which is so fluffy when you bite inside. After that, you've got the meat. You got that sticky, really sticky sauce texture holding the entire meat portion together. The meat itself, you've got fat parts, you've got lean parts, creates a very good contrast. The flavor, it's not really, really, really sweet. It's not overpoweringly sweet. It's got a little bit of that saltiness, the sweetness, but the stickiness, that texture, that stickiness, that's what really, really stands out apart. Contrasting with the fluffiness of the bun. I think that's probably the best char siu pan you can get in Singapore, and there's a reason why this place is so famous. Next bun we have is a lotus root. It's very, very round, very spherical, but it's much heavier, I would say, than the char siu bun. Let's break it open. Okay, wow, first impression of this, there is a lot of lotus paste inside, and it's really, really thick, and it's a really dark brown color, which I really, really like. It smells kind of sweet. Let's taste it out. Just like the char siu bun, the bun itself, really, really soft, really bouncy, really fluffy. The lotus paste inside, it's so thick. It's really, really thick. It just coats everything in your mouth. It's not particularly sweet. The lotus flavor, that lotus paste flavor, is really, really strong. So it's not really that sweet, I would say, because it is supposed to be like a dessert sort of bun, but that thickness, that texture, oh yeah, that's delicious. That's really, really, really good. I'm just surprised by how much lotus paste they were able to fit into the bun, because when you break it open, you saw there was literally lotus paste just exploding everywhere, but it was being held together by how thick it was. So yeah, there's a lot of lotus paste inside, so you're getting value for money. Absolutely worth it. Go try this out. next hawker center we've come to is known as Holland Drive Food Center. The really famous stall we're at is called Da Changjin Chong Fan. Chong Fan are essentially these rice paper rolls, and as you can see here, they're really delicate. This stall is really unique. They sell many different variations, including smoked salmon. They serve shrimp, which is a pretty classic one. They serve a liver Chong Fan, so a lot of variations here. I went with the traditional one, which is the char siu. But Chong Fan are essentially these rice rolls, a great afternoon snack. Now all she does is, at the beginning, she lays out the sheet, then she pours the rice flour over, puts some char siu, lets it steam, and ta-da! You have this beautiful dish here. I got mine with char siu, which is the barbecued pork. Let's try it out. The texture of the rice rolls, that's what's really setting it apart. It's really slippery, really smooth, and that's the point of the rice rolls. The meat inside is a little bit chewy, but I think that if you were to get some of the other ones like a smoked salmon or liver, you'd have a very different experience. But what's important here is the rice roll, and the rice roll is just really slippery, really smooth. It's so well done. I mean, just minutes ago, this was literally a liquid. It wasn't even a solid, but after it cooked, made to order, it became this really slippery texture. Oh, this is an absolute must try. You can find Chi Chong Fan stalls all across Singapore, but this one's here specifically is very famous because of the creations that this, I think, 60-year-old lady has. She has many different unique, creative ways to spice up Chong Fan. So if you come here in 2 or 3 years, she might have another flavor added. So who knows what this lady is doing with Chong Fan, but she's definitely pushing the boundaries and making some delicious snacks while she's at it. Next stop we've come to is Clementi Food Center, one of the best food centers for food, of course, but we've come to a stall known as Fungis, and they're famous for our next snack for today. This is a curry puff. Now, if you've watched my videos, we've had curry puffs before, but this is supposed to be one of the best places for curry puff. Let's break it open first. The potato, the egg, the curry sauce, all of them work so well together, and the curry sauce helps to bind everything together. I mean, you have such a thin layer, but the thin layer of skin is just so crispy, so deep fried. But the flavor, I'm telling you, that curry sauce, it's so strong. Like, the spices really hit you. I mean, that is the first thing I get. Egg is nice and well cooked, but the chicken is also really soft. Man, the flavor, that curry is really good. This place is really popular among young students, especially university students, because it's really near the university here in Singapore. So when you come here, you're gonna see a lot of university kids munching on these curry puffs, and for a good reason. They're absolutely delicious. Well, that was a very delicious day. I think I've shown you guys a lot of the delicious snacks here in Singapore today. Some of them are sweet, some of them are savory, but all of them are delicious, and I've tried my best to tell you guys where to go, where you can get them. A lot of these dishes you can find in many different parts of Singapore as well, so you don't have to go to the stall that I specifically chose, but I will say those were absolutely delicious. Highly recommend that if you do come here, if you're looking for a midday snack between lunch and dinner, these snacks are really what's gonna get you through the day. Alright, that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos. I'll see you guys on the next travel video. Bye guys.